Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icons to miss any of my most awesome videos. In front of us we have the Sony ICF-19. This is an AM FM portable radio. You can buy this radio for $29 on Amazon. That's how much I paid for mine. We're going to do a revisit of this radio. I had originally reviewed this way back a year ago, and I do things differently, so I figured we would see how this radio fares today. Here's the box. Really cool thing about this ICF-19 is it runs on 3 D-cell batteries, giving you a 400-hour runtime. This is a great off-the-grid radio. If you don't have power, this is perfect. I can't imagine a better radio for life expectancy on the batteries. And it even is better. There's even a little star here. I'll show you that in the manual. So the box, it's a pretty basic brown fare. Nothing fancy here. This isn't their premium one. Their premium one's the 506, which has AC adapter. This one does not. But we'll show you what came inside the box. I emptied it out. So there's the box. Put that to the side. In the box, you get a simple carrying strap. There's no handle on the radio, so you just kind of string this on 2 little spots in the radio, and I'll show you that to you. Just a basic thing, but you know, it's handy to have, and you can use this to hang it off a tree or off of a beam in the house, wherever you're working. It's a good little thing to have. So I'm going to throw it out the side there. Next we have the manual. Pretty simple, basic. Shows you how to put the batteries in there. What I like about this is it does talk about the life expectancy of the batteries. And let's go to that page where they talk about that. Let's see, notes on batteries don't mix. Okay, that's just precautionary. There we go, specifications. There's our frequency ranges. The typical 87.5 to 108 on FM and 530 to 1710 on AM. This radio is a DSP radio, which means it's digital signal processing, which means it has step tuning to it. So you hear little steps as you tune the radio. It can be a little tricky at first getting used to it, but once you master it, you'll find out that you'll get some great reception with it. So going down here, we have the batteries, and they show right here 400 hours on FM and 440 hours on AM. And that's listening to the radio, let's see, at I believe 50%. There it is right there, at 50%. If the volume level is set to 70%, life will be 290 hours and 295 hours. So that's amazing. Now, can you imagine running this with just headphones? I gotta imagine the life expectancy would be huge. I gotta imagine 600 plus hours on that. It's just me saying. Okay, different types of plugs you can use. Okay, so that's the instructions. Pretty simple. We don't really need these to operate the radio. It's pretty basic setup. Okay, so let's bring the radio in front and center. Here it is. It comes wrapped in like one of those foam blankets to protect it. Dimensions. We have 8 3/4 of an inch, includes the tuning knob and volume knobs here. We have a 5-inch height, and we have a 2 3/4 inch depth. Quite a thick radio because it accommodates those 3 D-cell batteries. For size comparison, I brought out its sister radio, the Sony 506. I'm going to bring this up here, and I'm going to try to put these side by side a little bit so you can get a basic idea. Now, the interesting thing is I took these apart. Start bumping the camera here. And they both have similar boards. So they're identical boards, identical dials, identical controls, identical speakers. So everything is the same except how it operates power-wise. This operates on 3 AA batteries or AC power. This operates on only 3 D cells. There's no AC power and there's no DC input, though I'm imagining somebody could get creative and put their own DC jack into it if they have the skills. Let's go ahead and show you the thickness of the radios compared to each other. Let's see, there we go. Get that on camera. Whoops. You think about the 506, it does have a built-in handle, but you pay extra for this radio. As of this filming, I think this was right around $48, and this one here was right around $30. So huge savings, money savings. I would definitely lean towards the ICF-19 for sure. But this gives you a handle, and it gives you a slimmer profile. As you can see, it's not as thick, and it gives you the AC input that this radio does not have. So, alrighty, so you get a little quick 506. Great radio, definitely a looker for sure with that metal speaker grill. But I like the features of the ICF-19 a little bit more, and I'll talk about that. Let's bring this back down. All right, so yeah, the major feature that I like about this radio is all plastic construction. I really dig it. Some people might find it cheap. I like it for ruggedness. The metal speaker grill looks nice on the 506, but easily dented. It can rust over time. Every old radio I've purchased for use, the metal speaker grill is always rusted or has issues. So it's nice to see a plastic speaker grill here, believe it or not. Let's see, left-hand side, just a normal matte finish black cabinet here. If you notice, we have the spot for the strap that I showed you there and there. Top of the radio is pretty flat. I think there's a little incused FM AM radio ICF-19 there. Our antenna on top swivels 360 degrees and goes out to 25 inches. I believe that's the same exact as the 506. Front here, of course, I think I mentioned this is a 4-inch speaker behind that plastic speaker grill. Sony, we have a white dial with black lettering. I love that. Easy to see. There's our AM scale, 530 to 1700, and our FM scale, 88 to 108. And we have a high visibility, looks like a pinkish red indicator. Down here we have 2 LEDs. One indicates the battery life. This is a bright green usually. And when that starts to dim, fade, or go out, then it's time to change your batteries. Here we have a tuning LED indicator, turns red when your radio is in tune. Here we have an off-on switch, and it toggles your AM and FM band select. Okay. Over here we have the tuning knob and the volume knob. And here we have the headphone jack. Headphones are interesting. It is FM mono both ears, no stereo. On FM it sounds very good. It has strong mids and decent highs with some lows. And AM is nice listening with voice, not really music, but for voice. And when you want to DX or look for those faint signals, headphones work really well for that with this radio. So you can get some good DXing in while you're off the grid with this radio. Definitely a plus. So going to the back of the radio, let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. We got the handle. It's like a little built-in handle. So if you don't use the strap, there's a little handle, kind of like a little grip. Helps you maneuver the radio around. That's nice. And then behind this door here is 3 D-cell batteries. Let me see if I can get this open. Okay, it just comes off separate there. And you can see they're individual little battery cell compartments. And as far as polarity is concerned, the top cell looks like the positive is to the right. And the bottom 2 batteries, the positive ends are to the left of the radio, looking at it from the back. There you go, for those who need to know. All right. Let's get this thing powered up and see what it sounds like. All right. We're going to talk about FM reception first, though. And then we'll go to turning this on, do a little audio demo. Okay, so FM reception, I like to base it on a 5-star rating. Fair, good, okay. Excuse me. Fair, okay, good, very good, excellent. And most radios fall into between the okay to good category, a 2.5-star rating. And that's very typical. That's not a bad rating to be right in the middle. Most radios fall in that, the analog style, not the DSP. The DSPs tend to push that limit. This particular radio does. It gets a good rating. And the FM sensitivity, I found about 65 stations with it. And the average radio gets about 48 in my location. So yes, definitely above average on FM. So that's why it gets the good rating. There are radios that get better than that, the digital ones. I had radios go all the way up almost to excellent. And that would be like the Field BT by Eaton, and I think the Stangen PRD15, if you're wondering. I'll throw those numbers out at you. Selectivity was good on FM. It has a lot of stepping to the station and away from the station. It's nice, and you probably lose a little bit of sensitivity that way, but the selectivity is really nice on the FM band. It's a little trickier on the AM band. The AM band's a little tighter tuning. The FM band's a little easier to tune on as far as that goes. So it gets a good rating, which is a 3-star. Yay! All right, now we're ready for the audio demonstration. I like to use a C.Crane FM transmitter too, and right now I have it set at 92.9 megahertz. I'm broadcasting YouTube sanctioned music from my Sony iPod that's hooked up to it, and we're able to give you an audio demonstration without worrying about copyright infringement. So let's go ahead and turn the radio on FM, and we'll demo this for a few minutes, and then we'll do an AM band scan. Let's go ahead and turn this on. As you can see, we got a battery level indicator and a tuning LED indicator. great. You get an idea of the audio demonstration. Most people, they think that it's not worth doing, but it is, because if you listen to my other videos, you'll hear a difference between the different radios on your playback device, and you'll notice, hey, wait, that sounds better. And it's true, it does. In person, definitely very impressive. The speaker depth, the enclosure depth adds to the speaker's depth of sound, which is great. Very enjoyable sound coming out of here. So, all right. Just some nice mids and lows here. I like it. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. Turn off that transmitter. We're going to do some AM band scan here at night and see what we can pick up. Let's see, I got my Skywave handy. Alright, yeah, size comparison. You know, we did a size comparison with just the 506. We didn't do it with the smaller radios. So let's put the AM. There's a Skywave. Give you an idea if it's right where the speaker well is. And we have Iron Man. Yeah, give you an idea with the deck of cards. There you are. Okay. So then, yeah, let's go ahead and so we can hear on the medium wave band at night. Current time was 10:27 p.m. Central Daylight Time in Chicago, Illinois. We'll use this as a frequency checker to see if we have a hard time finding out where we're at. Typically, it does get a little tricky with this radio, finding out where you're at on the dial, because it is interesting because the selectivity is very, very tight. It's very difficult. But you'll see. You can get some stations out of it for sure, though. Very enjoyable when you find the stations. So let's go to the bottom. We'll tune our way up. That's a good pickup. This is CIAO 530 AM, Brampton, Ontario, 441 miles. They're supposed to be at 250 watts at night. So I don't hear that too often. This is good. It's the only station on 530 near me that broadcasts with the Hindi language there. Really coming in nice. This is interesting here. This is usually 540 WAUK, but I don't think.
Hello there, I'm Mark Robinson. Major League Baseball Monday night. The Battle of Pennsylvania always important, and for the Phillies even more so, chasing a wild card spot in the National League. Pirates don't play down.
Other generations to be generous approach. We train young people.
In a couple stations, this might be 550. Which is KTRS, St. Louis, Missouri, 275 miles. I have to check this.
So I was raised by my parents, my mom and my dad. My dad's a big country man from 2013 residential school survivor. And my mom, a very descendant of the Norwegian farmers. So for my whole life, I have understood both my nickname of my family and
alright, so this is really cool. Okay, in this direction, 540, we're getting something very special here. This is CBK, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Watrous, Saskatchewan? Yeah, I'll put the spelling here. It's 1,025 miles away. This is the furthest station I've ever heard, and we're hearing it with the Sony tonight. That is amazing. And this is 540 Jackson, Wisconsin, which is 70 miles away at 400 watts. And the Skywave could barely hear this. This is awesome. Alright, we'll keep doing it, but I'm excited.
Hi, it's Mark Olson and Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy Home Pros. Call Crumweedy. Yep, that's us.
Call up. 560 WIND Chicago.
Held off thinking about about getting your project done with the crazy weather we've had, but we want you to know we prepared for that. Our pros are ready to work overtime if needed.
I think this is a great night for listening to medium wave. Okay, I've gotten this before. This is 580, I believe. If I have an idea, I'll put it up here.
Always appreciate the athletes. Single off-season fix. I mean, they have serious scouting and developmental problems.
Okay, I'm getting 670. I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay, I think that's Nashville, so let's go ahead and tune that in here if that's what it is. No. Could be. Okay, 630. So it's really hard to tune in between these stations here. This is CFCO, Chatham, Ontario, 310 miles, 6,000 watts. Okay, then we said a hint of 640 here. Hispanic music on WMFN, Peatone, Illinois, 75 miles, 1,600 watts.
Russell, I mean, it feels like we've been waiting for that every single year.
Here to help. Find a care guide you need to help. Complete with
And I had to kind of go back and forth to see if I got 650.
A public service announcement brought to you
There we go. There's Nashville. WSM 650, about 434 miles. Yeah, I had to go back and forth to kind of pick that up.
handful of surfaces in and around home that could use a fresh coat of paint.
Went pretty much on the table. I could see them wanting to bring Castellanos back because he's seemed like a really good fit.
670 WSCR, the score, Chicago. We'll go a little quicker here. Plus, I'm going to do some band scans, but boy, tonight's a good night. These stations are coming in fantastic.
Monitor the choices they make on the road without affecting your rate and rewards your team monthly for a job well done with gift cards and free
690 or 700.
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news. Lester Holt. Are you afraid Iran is playing with
700 is WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
America? Here in Normandy, hundreds gathered to honor the heroes.
This is what it means to be American.
Evening. That and my wife. Mike McConnell for Nature Stone. You would never have to replace your garage flooring again if you go with Nature Stone, because let's face it, your garage is pretty much the entrance to your home. It is mine. Nature Stone.
I was trying to go for 710, but that might be difficult.
Water, no more slipping. Covers any uneven people who were naturestone.com and see exact. And
It's jumping right to the next strong station. This is 720 WGN, Chicago.
I've seen all sides of this, and I'm just curious. So,
Well, let's bring Deborah back into our conversation.
Here we go. I don't usually jam the music too much. That's CFZM Zoomer Radio, 740, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. It's sounding beautiful. Okay, this is a good night to be listening to AM band.
He wrote something interesting. He said the culture of celebrity, reality television, and Twitter now defines national politics.
back to the late 1800s.
So first I had 760, now it's a 750.
The time of leisure after their time of work. In other words, retirement.
WSB Atlanta, Georgia, on 750, 630 miles.
Totally modern concept.
For office, which we're liable to get with the
760 WJR, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles.
And here it is. So there's a real affliction out there.
Champion Roofing for all your commercial and residential roofing needs. Their winning game plan provides sound advice and quality work in record time. Repair or replace your damage.
Sometimes I get 770. Might see it in the band scan video. This is 780 WBBM Chicago.
7663 or championroofing.com. When it comes to roofing, there is only
Annapolis next hour. He's in the belly of the beast, the epicenter of the Andrew Luck retirement.
Else could see this, but we're seeing various attempts at warming the area for both.
They basically are flying those.
I wondered why the Amazon gets so much attention while what is going on.
Okay, this I think is 840 WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky.
The reason why it's not getting any attention is because
I think we had WCCO 830, Minneapolis, Minnesota, just before that.
Then the whole global warming, climate change hoax would be exposed for what it is.
Je vais pas vous citer quelque chose qui vient de la France, mais d'ici, au Québec, en 1926.
860 CJBC, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. I'm having a hard time getting KOA Denver at 850. I did pick it up with this radio before.
To go in and create a passage.
Tous n'en meurent pas, mais
for a four
ont frappé. Ce qui est une référence à
propagation.
So you gotta try to play with that dial a little bit.
Raccourcissent en haut et en bas des rondes déjà courtes. Quand elles ne les troquent pas dans les...
Probably 870. This might be 880 WCBS.
I saw that Dele Harding a couple of years ago.
This is 890 WLS Chicago.
Yes, and now, you know,
Captain Heinrich? Yeah, Ritter. We have just listened in on an interesting transatlantic telephone conversation between the American Steve Wilson and his newspaper, the Illustrated Press.
CHML, Hamilton, Ontario, on 900 AM, 430 miles. We're just going to cruise up to the top of the band pretty much here. Old time radio is cool.
Cash out of your home and only breaks the time. Walked out. That's the headline. Or you heard the word quit a lot. FDA-approved hair treatment products. Pay for those renovations with a high WBB Care. The most important decision you make right now is what do you say?
It falls together and puts them in a canvas picture of it on the outside of this.
Population, because the geoengineering that they're doing to the north.
Society of Safety Professionals, ASSP. Now it sounds
abandoning the parties that have forgotten about the
strange enough that there is also the manifestation of a supernatural power, and there's some man that rather started to discover
Jewish people. I can't imagine if she has any Jewish...
While we're in this process, but President Trump knows that these short-term political...
So tons of stuff on the dial here. By the way, the internal antenna is 4 3/4 inches. If you're wondering, it's nicely wound. Same as the 506's antenna, so identical medium wave reception and FM reception, by the way. Good music, cool. As you can tell, strong performance all the way to the top of the dial here. And then we'll cut this short here in a second.
I saw him firsthand a lot of these.
Oh, this is pretty cool. This is CHHA, Toronto, Ontario, 1610. $16.30. KCJJ, Iowa City.
All the best people.
Okay, top of the dial here is KBGG. and I believe that's Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles, 1700 AM. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this off. Final thoughts on the Sony ICF-19. Yeah, this is a great radio. If you're interested in DSP radios, this is a great start. I've done quite a few reviews on DSP radios, different sizes, different takes. Panasonic, was it the 2400 stands out. There's a 506, like I just showed you. This one, there's just so many different ones. This particular radio for $30 is definitely a winner. Be it that it can run so long on 3 batteries. Those D cells is just amazing. I'm going to give it a definitely buy from Todderbert. If you're interested in the radio, I do put links below if you want to buy them. There's eBay links and then there's Amazon links. Feel free to click them. If you're going to buy the radio anyway, you can help the channel out. It doesn't come out of your pocket, which is nice. And I get like a 30-40 cents thing for the radio if you buy one. So definitely get one if you enjoyed this. I really like it. And then getting that station on 540, you don't get that too often. Was really a treat to have that on video. All right, guys. If you're a Sony fanboy or Sony fangirl, make sure to subscribe with the bell icon, get notified of future videos, and of course, 3, comment below what you think about this Sony ICF-19. Would you buy this? Would you use this? Yeah, it's a winner. And you can always use those adapters with the AA battery, and the D cell adapters, so you can run this on AA's and probably get about 40 to 45 hour runtime, I'm guessing, on AA batteries. So just something to think about. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.